Philippine Daily Inquirer would like to thank the following sponsors for making this live stream event possible: Coca-Cola Beverages Philippines Inc., Globe, Maya, it's everything and a bank, Medicard, prescribed by doctors, SB Finance, dito pwede, Union Bank, it's all in you. We'd also like to acknowledge the organizations that have partnered with us. Thank you to. We'd also like to thank Inquirer.net, Mega Mobile, and Inquirer Academy.
Wow, oh, oh, choo-choo-doo. Wow, oh, oh, choo-choo-doo. Oh, Diyos me, where am I gonna get the money? Arup babab, ito pala'y butas.
I need a new TV and a ref na wagas.
Woo! I need a motor for our quick errand. But we short on funds, walang malapitan. Oh, SP sa SP Finance, meron ka ng Zuki. The Zuki app,
Maaasahan, paperless, cause digital yan.
choose from personal loan, motorsiklong hulugan. Car for cash, isang tap lang yan.
Now you can get any loan you need with just one app. Zuki by SB Finance. Tap personal loan to grow your business. Car for cash loan using your car's ORCR. Motorcycle loan for motorcycles. And Hulagan for easy installment. Low interest rate and processing fee.
Oh, SB sa SB Finance.
Sa SB Finance, dito pwede.
I want to be like Mama when I grow up. Mama says learning can take us from where we are to where we can be. It can change us from who we are to who we can be. That in teaching minds, we also end up teaching hearts. Thank you for taking care of Mama Mina so that she can inspire more people to do more.
Globe has truly gone beyond telco. We innovate to uplift the lives of Filipinos with compassion, care, and kindness. Driven by our vision and purpose, we address problems of our customers in an inclusive manner that impacts the whole country. We bring together customer-centric innovations into a frictionless digital ecosystem built on a reliable network and supported by genuine caring for our customers. We see this in life-enabling and life-sustaining solutions in education, health, finance, leisurettainment, productivity, business, and digital readiness and security that empower people to live healthier, safer, and richer lives in a progressive digital nation. So, today, we are more than a telco. We are a digital solutions platform. We are the Globe Group.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to the Inquirer Project Rebound webinar series presented by the Philippine Daily Inquirer. My name is Ruel S. De Vera, Arts and Books Editor from Inquirer Lifestyle. And with me is Tyrone Jasper Piad, reporter for Inquirer Business, who will be my co-moderator for this live stream event. The Philippine Daily Inquirer and its sister companies introduced this campaign last year, prompted by the desire to share, inspire, and empower Filipinos. Now, on its second year, we are leveling up and drilling down on key sectors that will be crucial to the Philippines' continued recovery from the twin public health and economic crisis wrought by the COVID-19 pandemic. Let's watch this.
The country's economic activity continues to gain traction as COVID-19 cases remain under manageable levels, thus giving a much needed boost for the country's micro, small, and medium scale enterprises. For the second part of our MSMEs three-part series, we again invited experts to talk about how the industry emerged from the pandemic and is now recovering lost ground. They will answer whatever inquiry you have regarding what's on the horizon for MSMEs. So post your questions and or feedback in the comment section of this webinar's live stream on the Project Rebound or Inquirer.net pages. So hopefully many aspiring and even existing entrepreneurs are tuned in this afternoon because we will be covering a lot of topics that can bring your business to the next level.
Additionally, we also want to talk about the businesses that sprung up during the pandemic. It's not just the businesses that survived, but the businesses that actually came to life.
Yes.
And what is next for them. So before we introduce our guests, we would like to give an exclusive offer to our viewers. We would like to inform our viewers that your most trusted newspaper's digital version, Inquirer Plus, has a special promo for you. Get a huge discount on any of the annual plans of Inquirer Plus when you subscribe today. To avail of the promo, go to inc.news/rebound promo and use the code Project Rebound.
Now it's time to introduce our esteemed guest for today's session. Our first guest speaker is the country representative of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, or UNIDO. Teddy Monroy assumed the role of country representative for UNIDO in the Philippines in August of 2021. His work centers on promoting the organization's mandate to advance inclusive and sustainable industrial development in the country towards socio-economic development, environmental protection, and lasting prosperity. Teddy's engagement with the UNIDO country office dates back to 2011, where he served as national consultant for development programming, and later in 2013 rejoined UNIDO as national program officer and national expert for the United Nations Development Assistance Framework. He performed the duties of a senior officer in charge of program, technical cooperation, project development, resource mobilization, and strategic communication at the country level. Good afternoon, Teddy.
Good day to everyone. On behalf of the United Nations Industrial Development Organization, allow me to first express my gratitude to the organizers of the Inquirer Project Rebound for the invitation to speak virtually in front of you all today. I am pleased to be here to contribute to the discussions. May I now request for the slide deck to be put up on the screen. Thank you. I was requested to provide some opening thoughts to the presentations and discussions we will be hearing this afternoon on digitalization and innovation. It will be important for us to think about how these two elements can be instrumental for Philippine MSMEs in forging ahead to an evolving business landscape that is increasingly relying on a fast-growing digital space. Next slide, please. Let me start by saying that even before the onset of the pandemic in 2020, industries have already been looking to utilize connectivity and digital technologies to enhance their operations. COVID-19 just hastened the economy's digital transformation process. We have seen how the COVID-19 outbreak placed a tremendous strain on societies and economies around the world. Containment measures led to disruptions across various economic and social sectors, endangering employment and livelihood, and causing urgent issues around food security, nutrition, and income generation. Indeed, during the pandemic, resilience has become a key determinant of business survival and economic competitiveness. Based specifically on a study conducted by UNIDO during the first several months of the lockdown in 2020, MSMEs, one of the most vulnerable sectors of the country's economic engines, experienced reductions in operating hours, production volume, revenue, and loss of employees. To stay afloat, MSMEs in the country took various steps to be able to continue their operations amidst the difficulties they are facing. Among these actions included the move toward capitalizing on digital connectivity, enabling MSMEs to utilize online platforms and allow for employees to execute remote work modalities. The COVID-19 crisis has created an imperative for companies to reconfigure their operations to operate remotely and adapt to contactless marketing activities and transactions. Next slide, please. Now, 2 years into the pandemic, the Philippine economy is slowly and steadily getting back on its feet. Despite the opening up of the economy and the return to some semblance of the pre-pandemic environment, the digital transformation has continued to progress at an incredible pace. In fact, many business leaders around the world expect that there will be increased interest of MSMEs in digital technology because of the benefits that were seen in terms of building resilience and operational efficiency. No doubt, the momentum in the use of technology, digitalization, and new forms of working is expected to be sustained. At the same time, consumers will continue to patronize and enjoy the ease of digital shopping through online shops. This establishment of a digital and data economy will change the nature of the game and create a level playing field among all kinds of enterprises, big or small. And MSMEs need to be ready to evolve if they want to participate. Next slide, please. At the minimum, enterprises should have an online presence, able to market and sell their products and services while making financial transactions online with suppliers and customers, whether within our national borders or in global value chains. More and more, every member in the supply chains will be expected to have these basic digital capabilities. While it is true that connectivity has already allowed for the implementation of e-commerce, digital marketing, and remote work, in order to remain competitive in the evolving business environment, businesses will need to go beyond and employ as best possible advanced, disruptive, and digital-based Industry 4.0 technologies. These technologies take advantage of the convergence of information technology and operational technology, allowing for increased productivity, efficiency, value creation, and opportunities to occupy niches in the market that may not have been filled up by the big players. Industry 4.0 capabilities such as big data, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, and additive manufacturing demonstrate data access and transfer that is conducted decentrally, allowing computers and smart machines to interact with one another, ultimately making decisions without human involvement, leading to higher levels of autonomy and capability for self-cognition, self-optimization, and self-customization. By and large, there will be numerous opportunities for MSMEs to consider. In going forward, we need to focus on addressing the specific challenges enterprises, including MSMEs, will be facing in navigating the data-driven digital economy. Next slide, please. Digitalization and innovation will form the bedrock of a digital and data economy. To support these economies, countries need to strengthen four pillars, namely innovation capacity, digital infrastructure, digital skills, and digital cooperation and partnerships. In general, innovation has always been the main driver of human development. It is no different when we talk about the building of a digital economy. A functioning national system of innovation, which includes all stakeholders, including MSMEs, will be critical. It will be important to help MSMEs build their innovation capacities through the uptake of technologies that can level the playing field. Let us put emphasis on startups, accelerators, incubation centers, and innovation hubs. Next, a strong and reliable digital infrastructure will be needed to maintain connectivity and form the foundation for an organization's information technology and operations. Also, in both urban and rural settings, digital technologies can be used as well to improve the efficiency, sustainability, and services of infrastructure networks from transport to energy services supporting the supply chains. Then the workforce will need to be prepared for the future of work, looking into developing skills to take on remote working modalities and the new types of jobs that will be created by the fourth industrial revolution. Yes, Industry 4.0 will transform occupations, and countries can prepare through policy responses and roadmaps toward promoting STI, reskilling, and retooling in collaboration with the private sector. And finally, a common vision shared between both public and private players will be needed. Everyone needs to know where they collectively want to go. New partnership models should be considered, facilitating co-creation and co-financing between public and private institutions. MSMEs need to be assisted so they are not left behind in the digital revolution. Next slide, please. This is where I end my presentation. With that, I hope that it has been able to provide some sort of initial takeoff point for the discussions today. Please reach out to us using the contact details on the screen. I will conclude my presentation here, and I hand over you back to the event host. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Monroy, for that overview of all of the things that happened during the pandemic, of the MSMEs and the efforts that were made. I particularly like the look at the digitization and how it changed the landscape of MSMEs, perhaps forever. Our keynote speaker is the Secretary of the Department of Trade and Industry. At the time of his appointment to DTI in June 2022, he was the president of the Management Association of the Philippines, or MAP. Over the past 4 decades, Mr. Pascual has contributed to society, serving at 4 esteemed national and international institutions: the Institute of Corporate Directors as president and CEO in 2018 and 2019, the University of the Philippines System as president and co-chair from 2011 to 2017, and as alumni regent in 2009 and 2010. Asian Development Bank, ADB, for 19 years in several positions, including Director for Public Service Operations, Director for Project Finance, and Advisor for Public-Private Partnership, and the Asian Institute of Management, or AIM, as Finance Professor in the 1980s. Good afternoon, Secretary Pascual.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks to the Philippine Daily Inquirer and business editor Tina Arceo Dumlao for inviting me to deliver this message. I congratulate Inquirer Project Rebound on its second year of facilitating the sharing of information that can help our country better recover from the pandemic. I am confident that your Project Rebound will contribute to the efforts to pursue the full recovery of MSMEs in our country and the whole of our economy. MSMEs comprise 99.5% of business enterprises in the Philippines. The DTI's 2020 MSME statistics show that MSME sector accounted for more than 60% of jobs in the country. Further, the United Nations points to MSMEs as key to our country's inclusive recovery from COVID-19. The push to digitalize and innovate MSMEs is one of the key priorities of DTI. We in DTI are working to accelerate growth of MSMEs and enable them to scale up from micro to small, from small to medium, from medium to large through innovation and digitalization. We support innovation and digitalization to improve MSMEs' productivity growth and employment generation. Innovation and digitalization will enable MSMEs to participate in global value chains, enhance their digital entrepreneurial competencies, and access management and workforce skill. They can also avail of diversified financing instruments, technology and innovation, and marketing and other network connections. Like the organizers of this forum, we in DTI see that MSMEs will have to operate in an increasingly digital world characterized by rapid technological change. Based on Google, Bain & Company, and Temasek's Economy Southeast Asia report in 2021, there were 60 million, repeat 60 million new digital customers in Southeast Asian region since the outbreak of COVID-19 in early 2020. The region's digital economy is driven foremost by e-commerce. However, in a 2020 baseline survey on digitalization of MSMEs in the Philippines, DTI found that most MSMEs still need to build their capacities to digitalize their business operations. MSMEs pointed to top skills they need to thrive in an online business environment: finance, marketing, content management, and the basics of e-commerce. We in DTI have implemented a series of webinars called the Control Biz Reboot Now. We help provide information to MSMEs straight from marketplace platforms, fintech, and last-mile delivery platforms. We have partnered, for example, with Lazada, Shopee, and Shopinas to encourage MSMEs to be on these e-commerce platforms where they can take advantage of significant consumer traffic. We are also planning an e-commerce online library that can serve as a repository of all resource materials for MSMEs and, of course, the general public. DTI recognizes the need to encourage more MSMEs to digitalize their operations and bring their businesses online. In this regard, DTI has been promoting e-commerce partnerships with the private sector. The DTI e-commerce office, for example, has partnered with Meta, Google, and Viber in providing online sellers with lessons on how to increase sales in their respective platforms. It has also worked with Microsoft, Globe, Google, and Meta in giving MSMEs access to valuable resources on digitization. To further expand the use of e-commerce, DTI is working closely with the Department of Information and Communications Technology, or DICT, to develop an e-commerce platform that will be made available to MSMEs for free. On this platform, a small business can put up its online storefront quickly, make sales online, and get paid digitally. This online space will bring together various enterprises in a virtual shopping mall where consumers can find products of various categories depending on their needs. The e-commerce platform for MSMEs that we are developing is expected to provide access to bigger markets, thereby increasing the sales and revenues of MSMEs. In e-commerce platforms, MSMEs can also leverage digital marketing tools, adapting to new ways to reach existing and new customers whose behaviors are quick to change online. MSMEs can tap online advertisements, data analytics, and search engine optimization to engage more customers and promote goods and services in their virtual shopping malls. In addition, DTI will develop digital systems to link sari-sari stores, in particular, to manufacturers and automatically record enterprise data on sales and purchases. Data generated through the system can be used for credit scoring and cash flow-based financing. That is, the database built from the digital system could eventually be the basis for lenders to evaluate the creditworthiness of small retailers. With this initiative, institutional lenders can assess small businesses once they have the digital record of transactions, the purchase of fresh stocks, and the record of sales to customers. We know that for small businesses to adopt digitalization, we will have to go beyond just providing information and helping them to establish their needs. DTI is counting on private sector support in this area. DTI will accelerate MSME innovation and digital transformation by linking MSMEs with startups, especially those that could help address their digital challenges, connecting MSMEs with large domestic and multinational enterprises, and promoting inter-firm and academe collaboration. with conglomerates participating in a Big Brother, Small Brother 4.0 setup for MSMEs digitalization. For example, big businesses can accelerate the upskilling of MSMEs. In addition to digitalization and digital transformation, DTI will collaborate with the Department of Science and Technology, or DOST, for science, technology, and innovation to be accessible to MSMEs. MSMEs must strive to become innovation-driven enterprises to reach and engage their markets. Innovation does not mean only creation of new products. It could mean novel and responsive approaches to business organizations, marketing strategy, or product distribution. Innovation would be vital because it allows an MSME to differentiate itself from market competitors. Science, technology, and innovation can also enable MSMEs to make products more affordable to consumers and more competitive in the domestic and global markets. Intensifying support for the adoption of digitalization, technology, and automation is expected to lead to productivity increases and eventually more innovation and more efficient, productive, and resilient production. In support of such expansion and upgrading of the global value chain, DTI will establish common service facilities and support for efficient storage and logistics, such as handling and cold storage services. Moreover, DTI will enhance and upgrade MSME programs like One Town, One Product by improving access to technology and innovation as well as finance and skilled workers. In fact, we are planning to expand One Town, One Product program to be on a regional basis so that we will have a greater scope. We call on government and the private sector partners to develop the needed infrastructure supportive of digitalization and innovation. MSMEs can benefit from secure worldwide networks of fixed and wireless broadband. With stable internet access, MSMEs can boost their productivity, reduce costs, and reach more customers. I hope that more of our MSMEs will be open to and more involved in digital transformation and innovation. Thank you again to the organizers of Project Rebound for contributing to our efforts in helping prepare our MSMEs for digitalization and innovation. Maraming salamat. Padayon, Inquirer.
Yes. Thank you, Sec Pascual, for raising the need to support the MSMEs so we can achieve an inclusive growth moving forward, especially because MSMEs account for over 60% of the country's employment. And indeed, digitalization is the way to go given the changing consumer behavior this pandemic. So we will be highlighting digitalization and innovation on MSMEs in today's discussion. But first, we'd like to introduce our panel. Our first panel is the founder and creator of the country's first and only digital selling platform for micro entrepreneurs, Escaparate.com. It is a platform that brings micro entrepreneurs online, creates digital content for them, trains them in entrepreneurship and digital citizenship, and promotes their products and services through organized selling events. Joey Bermudez is also a former CEO of 2 commercial banks. Joey has a deep professional experience, both as a senior international banker and as entrepreneur in agriculture finance, MSME lending, education finance, lending to LGUs, serving overseas Filipinos' financial needs, and consumer finance. Good afternoon, Joey.
Good afternoon, and I'm very pleased to be in this panel, and I hope I can contribute meaningfully to the discussions this afternoon.
Toby, if you could say a short thing about escaparate.com.
Oh, yes. Escaparate.com is an offshoot of the pandemic. My colleagues and I are microfinance entrepreneurs. And in the middle of the pandemic, during the most brutal lockdowns that happened, we realized that a lot of our borrowers were dying, were closing shop and couldn't sell. And unless we found a way to help them get back on their feet, then our own company was also at risk of dying and closing down. So we thought about bringing our clients online so that they can participate in what everyone has been calling the digital supply chain. In the process, we realized that there were a lot of pain points that were preventing micro entrepreneurs from being present in online marketplaces. We asked ourselves if the existing online marketplaces were really that good and they were really that suitable for micro entrepreneurs, why aren't the micro entrepreneurs in these places? Why aren't they in these platforms? And we found out a lot of pains that we had to solve in the process. So escaparate.com evolved from just being a digital platform to an assisted platform, which included capacity building, microfinance, and the provision of the most basic services that would enable a person to participate meaningfully in digitalization.
Thank you, Joey. Moving on to our next panelist. Josiah is the chairman and chief innovation strategist of Smith and Fielders Incorporated. In 2001, he was awarded as one of the 10 outstanding young men of the Philippines and one of the 10 outstanding young persons of the world. In 2002, acknowledged as one of the country's most respected marketing gurus with 18 marketing and entrepreneurship books and also a contributor of PDI for the past 8 years. Good afternoon, Josiah.
Hi, Roel. Hello to everyone. Thank you for having me. Smith has been in existence for 30 plus years, and we are very proud to be a contributor in the MSME community. We actually launched a 55 video course, business model course, the first in the Philippines, the first in Asia, 4K Netflix quality at the price of a book, no? So that it would be affordable to the MSME. The reason why we did it is very simple. We noticed that many small entrepreneurs, their goal is to be entrepreneurs. But what's the pain point? It's really about scaling, no? So their business model is not geared towards the company growing. They don't know that they have to keep on growing and to also manage their costs. It's not very clear to them that they have to do that, no? For instance, many sari store continue to buy from the supermarket. So how can they have bigger profit if they continue to do that, no? Many homepreneurs, for example, continue to buy the raw materials from the retail store. So how can they profit if they continue to do it? They need to scale, no? And that's the reason why we created a 55 video business model course to help them. There's also so many things that we have done. We can discuss about it as we move along.
Thank you, Josiah.
Moving on to our next panelist, who is also our guest speaker, is Angelo Madrid. Jello is the president of Maya Bank, the digital banking arm of leading technology company Voyager Innovations. In tandem with PayMaya Philippines, Maya Bank is building the Philippines all-in-one money platform Maya. Before joining Maya Bank, he served as the country manager of Tala Philippines, a US-based fintech lending startup. He also held various executive leadership roles with Citibank based in New York. including co-founding a fintech startup with City Ventures that uses alternative data to help consumers in the US gain access to credit. Early in his career, he practiced law at Baker and McKenzie and CCIP Law, doing banking, project finance, and mergers and acquisitions. He received his bachelor's degree in management and Juris Doctor law degree from the Ateneo de Manila University. He completed his MBA from Duke University, Fuqua School of Business. Good afternoon, Jello.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me here. It's really an honor and a pleasure to be with you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Would you like to say a little bit about Maya Bank?
Yes. So as earlier mentioned, our Maya Bank is one of the six banks, digital banking digital banks that was authorized by the BSP to come out from last year. So we are pretty much we provide a lot of combined digital payments and financial services all in one app. That's really what we want to offer to consumers. This is really a value proposition to all the customers that we want across the Philippines, especially around the micro entrepreneurs and small businesses. And we are offering a lot of these payment solutions, as earlier mentioned in the talks earlier today, that we want to hope to push the acceleration around digitization, access to more payment solutions and more customers, and putting their products out there in the market through these various online places. So that's really is our core, and our mission is really to empower consumers and micro entrepreneurs to move towards to this as we call an industry 4.0, and then this new digital environment. So that's really our mandate as going forward.
Thank you, Angelo. Next up is Paco Magsaysay. Francisco Paco Magsaysay is the present chairman and president of Carmen's Best Diary Products, Inc. Paco is currently also the president of Citadel Corporation. He is the chief executive officer and president of Asian Vision Cable Holdings Incorporated and affiliates, and RMJ Development Corporation. Good afternoon, Paco.
Good afternoon. Thank you for inviting me to be part of this panel, and such an esteemed group of people. I feel like I am not worthy to be here with Joe and Joey and all the other guys. Yeah, thank you so much.
Would you like to say a little bit about Carmen's Best before we continue?
Okay, actually, there were a little bit of some changes from what you read, because in the past few weeks, we've entered an agreement with the Metro Pacific Group, and they have bought 51% of our company. So I am no longer the CEO of Carmen's Best, which is fine. I am part of the management team now, and we're looking to really grow it. But the Metro Pacific Group looks to use us as a platform to get into the agriculture sector, and use the Carmen's Best name for not only other dairy products, but also for other items, other products.
That is, however, good news. Thank you for that.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, of course, joining also in the panel discussion, our guest speaker, Jerry Austria. Jerry Austria is the current Vice President and Head of Merchant Acquisition and Payment Gateway for Union Bank. He has been in the payment industries for more than 20 years, leading both local and international financial institutions in establishing strategic partnerships with merchants. His experience has allowed him to have a deep understanding and appreciation of merchant needs. Jerry is driven by his passion to develop and implement innovative payment solutions that will benefit the inclusion of MSMEs. Jerry is a graduate of BS Applied Economics from the De La Salle University, Manila. Good afternoon, Jerry.
Good afternoon, Tyrone. Good afternoon, everyone, panelists, and our MSMEs who are tuning in. So it's again, it's an honor, and I'm happy to be a part of this the discussion. And I hope to contribute to the topic and to share our best practices, share our insights to everyone. Thank you.
Okay. So before we move, before we have our discussion, we'd like to hear your thoughts on what Sec Alfredo Pascual covered a while ago. So what can you say about that? Maybe we can start with Joey. Yes.
Sorry about that. That was a very good policy speech by newly minted DTI Secretary Fred Pascual. I think the task now is to start talking to the devils. By that I mean the guys who lay an ambush while the policymakers are making their speeches, and then they start attacking when it's time to do the implementing rules and regulations. So the devil is always in the details, and how to translate those policy pronouncements into actionable plans that really address the real bottlenecks and constraints on the ground is the big challenge. So, we will respond to his call for private sector to cooperate with government in trying to make sure that these policy pronouncements come into fruition.
Thank you.
Josiah?
Yes.
Thank you. I particularly like his Secretary Pascual's statement on digitalization of the smaller companies, smaller stores with integration of pay and logistics. Although I don't think I heard about even financing, no, I think it would be interesting to see all three combine. Something that Jerry Austria, I'm sure, is going to talk about supply chain financing available in Union Bank, no. I'm impressed that he's just a few days on the job as DTI Secretary, and he has already outlined so many things.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have Paco.
Yes, well, on the SME side, I think if the government were to give a lifeline to the SMEs, particularly on maybe lowering regulatory fees, having some sort of low interest rates for some loans. I don't believe in giving zero interest, but lower interest rates. This would truly help the SMEs.
Angelo?
Yeah. On my side, I think I agree with what the guys Sai said on being very prescriptive already in the outline for Secretary Pascual. It's really impressive that they're already looking at this micro SMEs as a very priority sector for for rebuilding the economy. On our side, I mean, I would echo what my colleagues have already emphasized here on logistics, financing, and digitization. And even before even before the pandemic, that's really what we are really ramping up to do. Is really to go after this very sensitive sector, because we know they're quite these are the first ones going to be hit when you when you encounter like a massive recession, or this like economic spikes in the environment like we're seeing today. So I think that all the more that we need to partner with the government on this. I think just one thing to itemize here, if we can actually work with the DTI, it's really easing up the documentary requirements of starting a business. It's really making them seamless also in the digital platform, and putting the regulations in place. Like I think what Sir Joey already mentioned here, the devil's in the details. and also being using certain test cases, use cases with a lot of platforms like on our side to make sure that's very easy for you to digitize and open a business via an online platform. So those are the things that we would look forward to collaborate with DTI, and something that we would really be more than happy to provide industry data, customer feedback, and also the tech implementation, right? The cost, the timing, because everything's going to boil down to unit economics and making sure this is all very affordable for all the micro SMEs. So something we look forward, and we're very excited to work with DTI.
Yes. Thank you. And now we call on Jerry.
Yeah. Hi. Sa akin, yung key takeaway ko dun sa sinabi ni Secretary Pascual, yung education ng mga MSMEs, particularly on digital technology. Because not all MSMEs are comfortable with digital technology. Not all MSMEs have access to these resources. Not all hindi nila alam yung mga SES, search engine optimization, ano yung mga tools na gamitin ko. Some may not even have a Facebook account or an Instagram account. So importante yung education ng ating mga MSMEs, and that's where we from the private sector can help as well. Yung educating these people, and most importantly, giving them access to all of these digital technologies that we have.
Thank you, Jerry. There's just so much for us to discuss. Now we move on to a very important part of our program. Jerry will, Union Bank's Jerry Austria will talk to us about some very important initiatives that they are into that will help the MSMEs, and what lies ahead for the business landscape. So, Jerry?
Sorry, is this the start of the my part? Okay.
Yes.
Can you pull out the slides already? All right. So good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Jerry Austria, and I'm from Union Bank, and I handle merchant payments. And my unit is particularly in charge of enabling yung mga merchants natin sa mga digital solutions, just like what I mentioned earlier. So during my talk, you will hear about Union Bank's digital payment solutions that will help yung mga MSMEs natin. So first slide, please. Okay, so I want to just break the ice. So tinanong ako nung kaibigan ko, ano ba yung una mong ginagawa pag gising mo? Well, brush my teeth. No. The first thing you do is turn off the alarm. Hindi ng alarm clock, you don't have a separate alarm clock, some may have, but usually nakaset na yung alarm mo sa mobile phone mo. That's the first thing you pick up when you wake up. Turn off the alarm, open your mobile phone, and even check some messages. Check your email, check your Facebook. So most of the time, if not all the time, di ba, hawak mo yung cellphone mo. There are times that you leave the house. It has happened to me. I left the house from Pasig to Makati. In the middle of my driving, nasa BGC na ako. Naiiwan ko pala yung cellphone ko. I had to go back home to get my cell phone. So, ganun ka-importante yung mga devices like the mobile phone, di ba? Sa pang-araw-araw natin. Next slide, please. So, why go digital? Sasagutin natin yan. Next slide, please. Yes, next slide, please. So, I want to talk about innovation. Parang, but innovation, bakit picture ng SM skating rink yan noong 1997? Diba? I particularly chose this picture kasi nung bata pa ako, I always like to go to SM. I tell my mom, Mami, punta tayo ng SM Mega Mall. Bakit? Gusto ko kasing mag-ice skating. Gusto ko makita yung skating rink. Believe me, hindi ako marunong mag-ice skating. Pero natutuwa lang ako seeing the kids there doing their ice skating. And happy ako pag nasa mall. Why? Because I can do shopping as well. Nakakapagpabili ako ng toys sa mami ko. And nakakapanood na rin kami ng movie. Everything we can actually do in a mall. This was mall innovation back in the 90s. They were way ahead of their time. Diba? So let's fast forward for our current scenario right now. So next slide, please. Kung dati, everything is inside the mall, now I don't even need to go to the mall to do my shopping. Diba? I just turn on my Facebook account. Ang daming nag-online selling. Diba? PM is key. Diba? Next slide, please. So the world has changed. Diba? A lot of these platforms came out. Diba? In fact, I'm sure na-experience nyo to. Well, at least in my case. Halimbawa, may bibili na akong gamit for my car. Diba? What's the first thing I do? Diba? Hindi naman ako pupunta ng Banawe para mag-window shopping ng parts. Medyo mahal na yun. Medyo mahal na gas ngayon eh. So what I do is I go online. I check out platforms. Meron ba niyang part na hinahanap ko sa Facebook Marketplace? Meron ba niyan sa Instagram? Meron ba niyan sa mga car groups ko sa Viber? Diba? So meron ba niyan sa Carousel? Diba? So we have all of these platforms to check. Diba? I don't even need to go to the mall, so it saves myself time. Diba? In checking what I need to buy. Next slide, please. Now, I don't even need to stress this or to go over the data over here. You know, most of the time, we are on our mobile phones or devices. Diba? Mga kasama nyo sa bahay, mga maids, mga kids, lahat yan nasa device, nakatutok sa device most of the time. Kaya if you're not in the device, if you're not on those pages, if you're not on a website or an Instagram or a Facebook, you are really missing out on a lot. I don't even, right now as I speak, I'm sure some of you are browsing as well. So next slide, please. So what now? What now? Nagkaroon ng pandemic. Things have changed. Next slide, please. Okay, so we have to understand yung mga pain points ng MSMEs. Now, I myself, I became a sort of a digipreneur nung pandemic. So I sold perfume, nagpa-curate ako ng perfume, and I sold it online. I nag-open ako ng Facebook account, ng Instagram account, and I started selling my perfume there. So the first thing, pag online seller ka, is itatanong ng mga customer aside from inquiries about the item, paano ba ako magbabayad? May bank account ka ba dito sa bangko na to? Meron ka mang e-wallet dito sa company na to? Yan ang tanong ng mga buyers. Yung tinatanong nila sa akin. Paano ba ako magbabayad yan? What's the means of payment yung item na yan? So okay, so I have a bank account, so bibigay ko lang sa kanila. Yung experience that I went through. I gave them a bank account, so they credit the money there. And yung next request ko, pakisend naman sa akin yung screenshot pag nagawa nyo na yung payment. So I have all of these screenshots, 20, 30 screenshots, check ko, ibayad na pala to. Okay, paki-release na yung perfume para dito sa ganitong address. So it's quite a tedious experience. And hindi lang yun. Kasi yung mode of payment nila, mayroong nagbayad sa bank account, may nagbayad dun sa e-wallet ko, may nagbayad sa ibang app. So I manage all of these apps. So ako lang din yun. My wife was helping me. And it's a bit of a hassle to do, actually, managing all of these screenshots without the help of any tool to manage. So next slide, please. So what if we can make this experience a lot better? Diba? Na-inspire kami dun sa mga ganun types of stories ng mga MSMEs. That's how they do it right now. That's the reality of things. Without a digital solution, without an innovation like what we have, mano-mano lahat. Diba? Logbook, screenshot, SMS, check mo kung na-text na sa'yo, kung bayad na. It's quite confusing to do, and it's hassle. So what we did nung pandemic is we developed a solution. We developed the MSME business banking app. Its main feature, one of its main feature is actually you can generate a payment link. You can generate a QR code which you can send to your customers. So instead of me just sending them, ito nga pala yung ano ko, yung bank account ko, ito nga pala yung number ng wallet ko, di ba? I can send my customers, I can generate a QR code which I can send via Viber, via Instagram direct. Kung ano man yung mode of communication na ginagamit ko para dun sa bibili ng perfume ko, I can just send them yung QR code there, the image of the QR code or the payment link dun sa through that app, through that mode of communication. So napakadali. And the best part of this is that I not only deal with one payment channel, marami akong pwedeng i-accept. Diba? With this MSME business banking app, I can accept digital e-wallets, GCash, GrabPay. I can accept InstaPay. I can accept over-the-counter payments. I can accept QRPH as well. So it opens my business to all of these payment channels. Diba? Hindi lang ako restricted sa, okay, ito lang, kailangan ito lang, InstaPay lang, or kailangan over-the-counter lang. So it's very convenient for me as a micro entrepreneur. So next slide, please. Okay. So it's our solution. We call it UPay. It's within the MSME business banking app. So it really benefits the consumer. Whether it really benefits the MSMEs, whether you are online or offline. In fact, yan yung one of the major challenges ng MSMEs, diba? Gusto mo maging offline, but I don't have a website. Diba? Paano ako maging online? I don't have a website. Now, with our solution, Facebook, Instagram, with all of these, Viber, buhay ka na. All you need to do is send a payment link. All you have to do is use our app. Diba? You don't even need to have a website. You don't need to have to invest in infrastructure. Medyo mahal yun. So we've made this technology, enterprise technology, accessible to our MSMEs. So next slide, please. So we've leveled the playing field for MSMEs to compete against the big boys. That's expensive technology that we have developed, and we have made it accessible to MSMEs. Next slide, please. Actually, this is just another thing that I wanted to put here just to catch your attention. Digital payments are making an impact. Case in point, yung mga beggars, I think these are either in China or in India, gamit nila yung QR code, di ba? Kung wala kang cash, di ba? Parang QR code mo lang, scan mo na lang, di ba? Para makapagbili ka dun sa beggar. Next slide, please. But wait, there's more. So sabi ko nga, hindi lang payment technology or payment solution ang offer namin or ng unit namin. Next slide, please. So the SME business banking app, I will highlight one of the key features of it is yung check deposit. All you need to do is take a picture of your check. So it's digital deposit made possible by our app. Amongst other features as well, we can transfer to both local and international banks, pay your bills for the government, collect payment from customers. Pero I'd like to highlight that special feature. I was thinking of of how this would benefit MSMEs. MSMEs usually ikaw lang. You don't have people under you. Yung may-ari, yun na yun. Diba? Hassle pa pag pupunta ka ng bank, pipila ka sa branch. I don't need to go to the bank anymore. I just take a photo of my check. Okay na. It saves me time. And we all know that time is important sa mga MSMEs. And yung automation, kasi they deal with a lot of paperwork. Diba? Mano-mano. So we're automating their processes. Next slide, please. Okay. So by doing all of these automation, we're allowing MSMEs to focus on their businesses. Diba? Instead of doing the legwork, diba? We allow them to focus. Market mo yung business mo. Next slide, please. And I'm coming to the end of my presentation. So with Union Bank, with our digital solutions, we not only provide you payment solutions, but we make life easier for the MSMEs as well. We provide automation, like I said earlier. So if you are interested to know more about solutions, last slide, please. You may reach out to us at There you go. Merchant support at unionbankph.com. So with this, thank you very much for having me here. That's it.
Thank you, Jerry. Where is Pam? Question. Our questions have been answered by all of these many digital initiatives that you've talked about as financial services for your customers. But surely we can discuss more later. But before we continue to the next part of our program, we still have a quick break. So stay tuned for more.
The Philippine Daily Inquirer would like to thank the following sponsors for making this live stream event possible. Coca-Cola Beverages Philippines Inc. Globe. Maya, it's everything and a bank. Medicard, prescribed by doctors. SB Finance, dito pwede. Union Bank, it's all in you. We'd also like to acknowledge the organizations that have partnered with us. Thank you to. We'd also like to thank Inquirer.net, Mega Mobile, and Inquirer Academy.
As we move on to our final speaker, we are reminding everyone that our speakers will graciously answer questions about MSME, digitalization, and innovation. We encourage you to comment on this webinar's live stream on the Project Rebound or Inquirer.net pages. And now we have to speak about what they have to offer. The entrepreneurs of the Philippines. We have Angelo Madrid. Angelo, good afternoon.
Magandang hapon sa lahat. Good afternoon, everyone. So for my part, I actually just want to convey actually 3 stories today. So the first story is about an SME entrepreneur, actually micro SME entrepreneur that became digital. So that's kind of like, and the impact that she made in their community. The second story, another story that I want to share with everyone is really our story, like why we became a bank. Yun yung pangalawa. Then yung pangatlo, it's more about an invitation to all of you to make your own story. So I'll start with the first one. So so we can already show you this exciting story about one of our clients with the bank. So next slide, please. So I'm not sure if you guys have been to Buldon. Like this is like one of the barrio towns in Maguindanao, and it's actually quite difficult to actually do financial transactions within this community. Yung mga gantong lugar, mahirap mag-travel kasi nahihirapan silang unang-una, I think a lot of the insights earlier that's walang signal, tapos minsan the roads are not paved. And the residents must commute ng maraming oras lang para gumastos ng or magpadala ng pera sa either sa kanilang mga customers or sa kanilang mga kamag-anak. So on the next slide, ito yung kwento nga na-experience ni Nabal Kampong. He was actually a student back in Davao City. So para lang magpadala ng allowance sa kanya, ang ginagawa niya, gigising siya ng mga 3:00 ng umaga. At para lang makuha sa kanyang mga magulang, para mahabol yung commuter van at magpadala ng pera sa kanyang magulang. yung center na nagpapadala siya ng pera is ang tawag nila doon parang yun yung lugar doon. 36 kilometers away yun from Buldon. And yan yung nearest town na malapit sa bahay ni Nabal na pwede siyang gumawa actually ng bank or remittance to another person na magre-receive doon. Para lang makapunta doon, abutin na siya ng 2 oras at gagastos siya ng 200 pesos para lang magpadala ng pera sa kanyang mga magulang or mag-receive ng pera sa kanyang mga magulang. On the next slide, please. Pero things changed for Nabal sa kanyang town nung dumating si Eileen Reguro. Si Eileen Reguro, isa siyang padala agent from our side. Ang nangyari sa kanya, nagtrabaho siya sa Maynila kasama ng asawa niya. Tapos doon nakita niya yung power ng mga remittance, nakakita na siya doon ng mga padala centers, nagpapadala siya doon, nakakita siya kung paano siya nagpupunta dito sa mga remittance agents. So nung naisip niya, nung pag-uwi niya doon sa Buldon, sabi niya, parang pwede ko gawin to para makatulong ako doon sa mga taong katulad ni Naval na nagta-travel pa sa kabilang bayan para lang magpadala ng pera. So ang ginawa niya, ano kaya kung ako na lang yung magtayo ng remittance center dito sa bayan na to. So after 5 years, anong nangyari kay Eileen, yung negosyo niya ay actually lumaki. Actually, it really became very 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 good. Ang nangyayari, she's actually processing mga around 100 to 200 transactions per day. Tapos yung mga customers na dyan, hindi na nagta-travel sa kabilang bayan lang para magpadala ng pera. Tapos lastly, meron din siyang mga QR codes. So pwede silang, some of them of the online sellers are actually able to actually use that for paying bills and paying other merchants. So anong nangyari dito, after niya mag-open dyan, naging takbuhan siya ng mga tao dun sa community niya para maging access point ng financial services. Ganun siya nakakatulong sa mga kapitbahay niya dun sa lugar niya. Can you the next slide please? So ito yung sinasabi lagi ni Eileen sa amin noon when we actually talk to her. Sinasabi niya essential ang smart padala kasi siya nagiging takbuhan ng mga tao. So minsan nga nag-abono pa siya para lang makatulong, para makapagpadala. And we do know that ito yung gusto kong sabihin sana sa una kong kwento. I told you I will tell you about 3 stories. The first story is really this. This is really the power of digitization and putting technology in the middle of a place like Buldon, where if you actually put technology in the hands of micro-entrepreneurs na katulad ni Eileen, dito nangyayari yung magic ng transformation within the community. It saves you time, nakakatipid ka ng oras, at mas mura magpadala ng pera. At yung pera yung mga oras na nasa-save mo para sa sarili mo, na ibabalik mo para sa pamilya mo at para sa pagpalaki ng negosyo mo. Ito yung una kong story na gusto ko i-share sa inyo. Yung pupunta ako sa pangalawang kwento ko, yung kwento namin sa Paymaya. Siguro during the pandemic, we were only a payments company. Ang ginawa namin during na-realize namin during that time na para talaga maging maganda yung service namin sa mga customers, we believe that we have to become a bank. Meaning, kung nag-apply kami ng isang lisensya sa BSP para yung services ng financial services na kailangan ng mga kliyente namin na parang sa Eileen at Sinanabal, yung mga savings, lending, pagpapadala ng pera through remittance, mailagay na namin sa isang plataforma na madali nang magamit, hindi na sila lilipat-lipat sa iba pang plataforma. So, if you go to the next slide. Next slide, please. Sorry, just skip it, sorry. Sa iba pang slide. Next slide. Ito na ngayon yung nangyari sa app namin. So, yung Paymaya ngayon, isa na siyang bangko. So, within the bank, before ano lang kami, we process payments. Ngayon, pwede ka na mag-save. So now we are actually offering all consumers 6% interest rate. Pwede ka na rin mag-borrow ng credit, ng lending. I think ito yung paulit-ulit na sinasabi ng mga speakers natin earlier today na kailangan ng access to finance. Tapos on the left side, you will see there, pwede ka rin magpadala ng pera. Actually, importante kasi yung BSP, mag-roll out din sila ng QRPH, magiging standardized na ito sa buong bansa. We're actually the largest acquirer for QRPH. We have over 600,000 merchants that are already using this today. So ito yung isang importante na gusto namin sabihin dito kasi ito yung hinihingi ng mga customers namin. When we talk to thousands and thousands of customers, naghahanap sila ng isang solution lang na magagawa nila sa isang digital na platform para makatulong sa kanilang sa pagninegosyo. On the next slide, ito yung sinasabi namin. So meron na kami dun sa consumer, yung smart padala namin, ganun din ang gagawin namin. The current setup na ginagawa ngayon ni Eileen, in addition to just doing payments, magkakaroon siya ng access now to deposits and also loans, kasi yung community niya, kailangan din niya magpalugo ng business niya, di ba? So I think one of the key themes na pinag-usapan natin today, paano natin mapapalago yung negosyo ng mga negosyante. Ang isang critical piece dito is access to capital. Kailangan pwede sila makautang at an affordable rate at kaya nilang bayaran, depende sa kita nila. So ito yung ginagawa namin ngayon. Yung bangko, yung Maya Bank, papasok ngayon dito sa Smart Padala Maya Center at magiging part na siya ng offering namin na all the entrepreneurs and all these Smart Padala agents are able to borrow also money from the bank. So all in that app, no paperwork, hindi nyo na kailangan mag-submit. Basta pag may app na kayo sa amin, pwede na kayo mag-utang at mag-avail ng mga deposit products from the bank. Tapos lastly, on the next slide, so ito naman yung sa mga mas malalaki pang negosyo. So let's say hindi ka sari-sari store. Kunyari ang nagme-maintain ka ng isang restaurant o yung kunyari gusto mo mag-run ka ng mga retail store, pwede ka mag-avail din of what we call a point of sale. Ito yung terminal na pwede mong gamitin for your offline payments. Tapos kung may online store ka, pwede ka rin mag-avail sa amin ng mga Paymaya checkout, meaning pwede ka magpadala ng mga pwede mong kunin yung mga yung QR code pwede ka mag-issue ng mga QR code online at pwede ka mag-accept ng mga credit cards for online payments. So itong ginawa namin sa Paymaya business, this is all integrated, and again, because the bank is there, this platform will also allow you to again borrow money from the bank and also deposit money at a very compelling interest rate, at naka-integrate na siya dito sa lahat ng mga payment solutions namin. So what I'm trying to say is that these three examples at yung kinukwento ko ng Maya Bank, nag-transform talaga kami to add the power of a digital bank behind our payment platform para mas mapaganda pa yung pagsiservisyo namin sa lahat ng mga entrepreneurs at mga negosyante. Whether you're small or you're big, kaya namin po kayong tulungan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Angelo.
Yeah.
I think it's fascinating, the transformation of Paymaya to Maya, and I think a lot of people are truly interested in what payments and financial services that they can avail of from Maya. Let's begin now our panel discussion. After all of that, I think we're now equipped to talk about the MSMEs and the future that lies for them and what has been done for them. Let's begin with a question for Joey and Paco. We would like to ask you, Joey, first. What were the main things that you did during the pandemic that allowed you to survive? And how did you see how do you see MSMEs coping as you are confronted with new challenges?
Well, thank you for that question. I spoke earlier about our experience during the pandemic when we felt that unless we helped our clients survive, unless we enabled our borrowers to get over the mobility restrictions because of the lockdowns, we ourselves wouldn't survive. So we thought the best thing would be to put them online. But again, it's one thing to bring a horse to the water and get the horse to drink the water. So you put them online, but can they perform very well on the online platform? So the moment we put a lot of them online, about 100 of them, we started mystery calling them. We found out that many of them were not even minding their online stores. Okay, you give them a store, you create the content for them, and they don't mind it. You call them, they don't answer. So we asked them, Nay, bakit naman itong mga orders itong mga customer na tumatawag, di nyo sinasagot. May online store kayo pero wala pala nagbabantay. Then they tell us, isa lang ho telepono namin sa bahay Ginagamit during the day ng aking anak para sa DepEd classes. Sa hapon naman, hawak ng mister ko dahil nangongolekta siya sa mga customer. No? So yung isang bagay lang yun na napakaliit na dahil hindi natin naiintindihan yung mga micro-entrepreneur, hindi natin nagagawa yung dapat para matulungan sila. So we created a store-minded product for them where after creating the online store and creating the online content for them, we also mind the store. And then we realized problema nila, wala silang bank account. Because in this country, it is so tedious, it is so difficult, it is so harassing to own a bank account. So then we provided a means for them to receive online payments and to be able to send online invoices to their customers. And then eventually this whole business morphed into something that was a lot more. It included in eventually upgrading their skills, training them to be good digital citizens, and even helping them acquire basic entrepreneurial knowledge. So that was how we tried to cope with the pandemic.
Now, Paco, same question. Share your thoughts with us, please.
You're muted, Paco. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
So when the pandemic hit a couple of years ago, we had no idea how long the pandemic was going to last, But after about 2 months, we felt that this was going to be a serious situation for us, and the airlines started slowing down their business. Hotels were closing, coffee shops were closing, and we actually sell to a lot of food service accounts. No, we sell primarily through B2B. We don't have our own shops. We had 2 shops at that time. We had to close one, so we're down to 1 shop now, and we really had to tighten our belt and maximize efficiencies. So one of the things that we did was, since the orders were really dropping, we did not ask our staff to work the same schedule that they did prior to the pandemic. So since we only make the ice cream when it's ordered and the orders really dropped, we were running the plant around 2 to 3 times a week, trying to save money by not turning on the plant and picking up the staff because we have a shuttle bus. So we really cut down with our production days. And then eventually we were trying to think of maximizing the 2-3 days that we were not running the plant, because we were still paying the rent and we were still paying the salaries of these people. No? So we ended up coming up with a natural cheese line to supplement that gap. There was a gap in the production. So we also came up with other lines of ice cream to maximize the space that was not being used in the truck. So since the orders went down, clients were closing their businesses, we developed another ice cream line that would cater to a different market segment. So we came up with an Arctic line, which of course will make use of our cold chain, our trucks, no? Kasi frozen din siya eh. So it's the same logistics, maximizing also the same delivery routes, because Carmen's Best really caters to a very small market. It's a very niche market. So by coming up with Arctic, we were able to cater to the establishments that were next to the Carmen's Best establishments. And it helped out naman. We also started a community reseller program where we were looking for people to sell in the different villages or even apartment complexes they lived in. Because there was one time where we were not even allowed to leave the village, our places. So we were really getting a lot of new community resellers, not only in Luzon but also in Visayas and Mindanao. Funny story is, one of our strongest selling areas in Mindanao is Kidapawan, you know. And even when we developed the ice cream, we never imagined that we would sell ice cream in Kidapawan. I mean, we were thinking of Davao, yes, you know, Cagayan de Oro, but Kidapawan was not really a market that we were looking at. But apparently, we have a customer who lives in Kidapawan who owns several groceries, and she wanted to carry our ice cream and offer it to her friends and her relatives, and she was really selling a lot during the pandemic. So it really matters who pushes our product, not just any Tom, Dick, and Harry that will sell our premium ice cream. No? So very segmented nga siya, and I wish anyone can sell our ice cream, but that's not the case. So we were very fortunate with our partner in Kidapawan, and we hope to meet other people in the country who believe in our product and who will push our product. So I think that was really the experience of the pandemic, but it was really difficult, and there were times that we were thinking of maybe you know, the run was about to end, and maybe it was a time to think of closing the business. And sa awa naman ng Diyos na we were able to pass that and you know, get this deal with the Metro Pacific Group.
Thank you, Paco. And yes, I
Thank
think for people who like Carmen's Best, that is very good news. For Josiah, how do we ensure that the efforts to help MSMEs are not duplicated unnecessarily?
Well, you know, Ruel, I think companies would just need to look at the white spaces or voluntarily not to duplicate, no? Because what's the point of duplicating somebody else is already doing? One of the things that I always ask many of my clients, no, is to say, so what is the unmet needs that you're trying to satisfy? Because if there are no unmet needs, so why do you want to do it? Because somebody else is already doing it. No, you end up having a brand switching strategy, and in a brand switching strategy, it's just going to be price and promo. So I think that's the very first step. We just have to be self-aware before proceeding, Ruel. No, I hope I answered the question.
Yes, you did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So you really need to study your market before, you know, before doing your venture. So now moving on to Sir Angelo and Jerry, our question for you is, what did you do during the pandemic to help our MSMEs?
Angelo, you can go first.
Yes, yes.
Sorry, can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Actually, during the pandemic, one of the things that we really emphasized was how can you start a business with zero capital? So I think yun yung first na in-offer namin sa market. So yun nga, the reason why I was focusing that story with Aileen earlier, kasi she was able to do that business with zero capital, and all she got to do is really just have a phone with her and, you know, do some basic application requirements, and, you know, she already has like a side business that will be able to support her family. And we were trying to really market that because we know that a lot of the there's really a lot of entrepreneurs struggling to make ends meet. So that was like one thing that we really wanted to do, is like a business in a box solution that we really marketed across the Philippines. See, the second piece is also we also work with with the BSP to really to fast track the adoption of QRPH as well. I think this is one of the technologies to be quite critical to have a singular adoption in helping them making more payments. So this is also one of the things that we think that we can future-proof a lot of SMEs, because if we actually help them transition to QRPH, they will actually be able to market their products to more consumers who will be using QRPH in the future as well. And lastly, I think we also wanted to make sure that we're doing this verified online seller program. Kasi mahirap, diba? During the pandemic, even if you go online, I think trust was really a big currency, right? Not necessarily if you go online, maraming naluloko sila, diba? They don't necessarily know if they're sending money will be received. People rely on COD. So, you know, even digitizing the entire trust, right? People are transitioning to a new mode payment, nahihirapan sila. I think Jerry was very good to point out earlier na meron tayong educational component. So what we're doing here is like we are doing an online seller program. We'll call a verified seller program. So they know that these sellers, when they actually put their platform online, alam nila na legit to, they can accept digital payments at hindi sila maluloko, something like that. So those are the three like quick examples. And of course, we always partner with the government on a lot of SME regulations, especially now that they, more than ever they need that capital that to really grow their businesses. So that's just those are some of the key things we did during the pandemic.
Right. Thank you for that. How about Jerry?
Yes. Well, in fact, the MSME business banking app that I mentioned earlier, it was actually born during the pandemic. So the UPay feature where we can send the QR code or the payment link it was designed during the pandemic and launched during the pandemic. There was a huge demand for brick and mortar stores na we want to go online. Gusto namin online. Problema, how do we accept payments pagdating sa online? Sa brick and mortar stores, ang daling mag-accept. They have their POS, they have their cash. Diba? Pagdating sa online, when they did the pivot, how do we do it? Hindi ganun kadali gumawa ng website. So this was the tool that addressed that concern. It's as easy as sending a payment link to someone to address yung need to accept payments. And what is important as well, and in fact, what the BSP is also pushing is yung QRPH natin, importante yan yung operability aspect nito mga digital solutions. Yung it's agnostic regardless if you are a bank or a fintech or an e-wallet, you can actually use your app to pay for that item you want to purchase, whether it's online or in the brick and mortar store. So that's a key element that will help boost yung businesses ng ating mga MSMEs.
Thank you for that, Jerry. Now we have a very important question for all of you. You heard Secretary earlier, and this is something that we really want to know. What are your expectations or your requests from the DTI for the first 100 days? Let's start with Angelo. This is for everybody.
Okay, got it. I think it's really I think it'll be like just on a couple of themes, right? I think the first theme is really collaboration. I think I should be asking DTI how we can help them, and I know they're really pushing towards the ease of doing business and making sure that the SMEs are going to digital. We are the Maya Bank and PayMaya really are very focused and really making sure that all these SMEs are going to be successful in their path to becoming digital. So that partnership and collaboration is something that we expect in the first 100 days. We will be, we will put ourselves there in that conversation, and we want to be very much provide more information to them on how can they enact their progress better. I think the second piece is really the ease of doing business is really something that is important to us. How can SMEs go doing the onboarding, the documentary requirements that the government must also help us also to minimize all the requirements of starting to do a business. If it takes 30 days, how we can make it like literally real-time, instant through just a bunch of documents. I think there are many technology solutions, so we can also brainstorm with them. And maybe that's something that we want to also explore with DTI, so we can help a lot of these micro entrepreneurs to go digital literally in 24 hours, something like that. So that's something that we want to work with DTI on this in the next 100 days.
Thank you, Angelo. Josiah, what about you?
Several. So, si Secretary Lopez ended his term by one of the last things that he did was to issue an administrative order requiring direct selling companies to have a seal of approval. And I'd like to see that at the start of Secretary Pascual term, he would continue with that. Not only with the seal, but to totally eradicate pyramiding companies. There are just so many pyramiding companies operating. And they're hiding in network marketing scheme, but they're not actually network marketing companies. Now, that's number one. Number two is that I wish that the DTI counselors, and there's 1,300 counselors, would really be able to make a difference in the lives of the MSME. There are not go negosyo, but negosyo center all around, and it's run by DTI. The only way they can do that is to have people who are very competent, and we recently granted scholarship to these DTI counselors to train them on the 11 building blocks of a business model, so that they in turn can help the over 1 million MSME company. We can't do over 1 million, but through them we can do that. No? I think these are the two things. The third very important thing is that it's not just about the documentation, but in terms of being able to put it in one place. The entrepreneurs will have to run to one place to get a business name, run to another place to have approval of something, run to a third place to get approval of another place. And I think that's something that is going to discourage, no? And so there's so many businessmen that say, well, it's so difficult, so I might as well operate without a license, no? And so if they can simplify the whole thing, I'm sure a lot of people would be more compliant.
Thank you, Josiah. Joey?
Thank you. First of all, I think when Secretary Pascual was talking about MSMEs, and he was talking about a number which is like 1 million. That's the registered MSMEs. When you look at the micro entrepreneur clients of the top 12 microfinance institutions, your count would run up to 9 million already. So that tells you a lot are unregistered. Do they not want to register? They do. But you should not harass them. You should not make things difficult for them. In other words, as a matter of policy, I believe the DTI should substantially deregulate MSMEs. And why? Because MSMEs, they do not really pose a systemic risk. They're not too big to fail. It is not as if any one of them fails, you're going to haul in tons of taxpayer money to provide them relief through a stimulus to save them, to provide them largesse. The other thing that I'd like to recommend for the first 100 days is to pick a low-hanging fruit, which is stop harassing the MSMEs. Suppose we tell the tax bureau not to do any tax examination of MSMEs for the next 3 years, or for any new SME that's registering, unless there is a clear crime that's being committed. I agree there are 3-5% of these guys probably who are not good, but why punish the 95% for the sins of the 3-5%? And then the third suggestion I would make is forget about doing this free online platform for micro entrepreneurs. This is something that can be done by private sector. Platforms are a very involved endeavor. It is not simple. So unless government is prepared to pour in tons of money to be able to run a platform that is as competitive as the platforms being spoken about, for example, today by Angelo, by Jerry, by everybody in this panel, they should forget about being in those places where private business already is.
Thank you. Paco?
Well, actually, Sir Josiah and Joey touched on it. With Josiah, it's really the lessening of the red tape. It sounds very general, but it really hurts us, the small and medium business owners. Even in our case, let's say getting an FBA, it's not easy. I mean, people think getting an FBA for a new flavor or for a new product line is easy, but it's actually quite difficult. So I wish that DTI could help out in lessening the red tape in general. As Joey said, also is to stop giving us a hard time, because it's already difficult as it is, and dealing with government is just making it more difficult. Another thing would be the financing facility. I know banks are required to set aside a certain percent of their total loanable portfolio, and oftentimes, since it's not very lucrative for them to lend to SMEs, they don't really put too much attention to it. They'd rather lend to big borrowers where they get a bulk of their cash. No. Another thing would be to maybe incentivize the MSMEs by giving them subsidies and tax breaks, which is what Joey mentioned earlier. If they don't really give us a hard time the first 3 to 5 years that we're operating, I mean, there's so many businesses that close in the first 3 to 5 years, and working with a BIR is not easy at all. So I wish that the DTI helps us out in these things.
Thank you. Finally, Jerry.
Yeah. Lastly, I'll support the earlier statement of Angelo, yung ease ng mga requirements for our MSMEs. It should be encouraging enough for them to register their businesses. Now, in connection to that as well, yung mga policies din sana na nagagawin nila, diba? It should more or less encourage or favor yung mga MSMEs natin. And on digitalization naman, diba, these MSMEs, sabi nga ni Sir Josiah, maraming inilalakad na mga papers, permits, or what have you, yung mga MSMEs natin, diba? Why not we make it easier for them na i-digitalize natin yung pag-apply ng mga ito or yung access to them. Hindi mo na kailangan physically pumunta doon, diba? This saving them time and money, lalo na ngayon mahalang gas, diba? So everything should be made accessible to MSMEs through the use of all of these digital solutions. Us naman on the private sector, we're more than willing to share our ideas, our best practices to support the DTI's drive for these digitalization. We're happy to work with them on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Tyrone?
Yes, thank you for your insights, and we hope DTI will listen to your proposals to strengthen further the MSME sector. So now we are asking everyone for their closing messages. Let's start with Paco.
Yeah, well, I think yes, sorry. With the economy that doesn't seem so promising in the next few months and even couple of years. Energy prices are so high. Everything's just going up, going through the roof. Then you have a base of clients that are having also equally a difficult time as you are. I think it's important to sort of adjust the targets and to have a more realistic view of the next several months or even couple of years. I think it's important to tighten our belts at the same time and maximize our efficiencies. I think moving forward, even with a big group behind our back, I was telling our management team that it's important that we remain to be entrepreneurial in spirit, despite the fact that we're already owned by a bigger company. So hopefully we can keep that entrepreneurial spirit and be agile and nimble as we were in the past 11 years when we first started.
Thank you.
Next,
Angelo, please.
Yeah. For me, this is something that I've always, because I've listened to different podcasts, and I think Sundar Pichai, the Google CEO, actually just said this the other day, that scarcity creates clarity. So with that in mind, that's actually what I hope to work with DTI. To really look at the challenges of the time, as what Paco mentioned, and really use this opportunity to really look at the processes that we have enabling SMEs to go digital, so we can really help them focus on what really matters is really going businesses, and less more of like these admin matters of running a business. It's really a tough it's really tough right now to run a business. Everyone is scrabbling for that extra inch, extra minute, extra penny, extra peso at the end of the day to keep the lights on. So with this period as well, this also brings the biggest opportunity to really relook at everything that we have, not just for our own companies, but also for the entire SME sector, and really focus on big bets, really clear bets over the next 100 days that really drive, hopefully, President Marcos' vision of really uplifting the SME sector back from the pandemic and recession. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Joey?
Okay. I think we should not end with just telling MSMEs to go digital. They know that. They want to go digital. But we should find out what it is that's preventing them from embracing digitalization. Unless we do that, a lot of them will continue to be outside of the digital space. And when that happens, what started as a gap between the rich and the poor in terms of wealth will eventually morph into a digital gap also between the rich and the poor. So the sooner we address that, the faster we can get the whole economy participating in the digital space.
Thank you. Next, we have Josiah.
Thank you, Tyrone. In Mansmith, we found 3 different cluster of opportunities during the pandemic. The first one is really about survival opportunity. An example of this would be ZAP, ZAP, which is really in giving reward points. But instead of giving reward points, many retail stores are closed, so they cannot really operate. So they pivoted into e-commerce. So now they're serving hundreds of restaurants and retail store. They saw opportunity amidst that, their inability to operate. The second opportunity is really what you call an expansion opportunity. They were already in e-commerce. Let's say Kim's store, one of the early entrant. Union Bank, for example, is already there. And the third is really what you call the assistance opportunity. New companies emerge because they would like to assist others. Corproc, which is an IT company, for instance, created dry brush to help artists. The artists had, they had no income, they have no way of displaying their products. So, Corproc created dry brush to help artists. And so I want to end by asking the listeners, what kind of opportunities can they see? Do they see opportunity amidst crisis? Or do they see crisis as crisis, that there is no end in our crisis? But there will always be a lot of opportunities within a crisis or uncertainties.
Thank you. Now, let's ask Jerry to share his thoughts.
Yeah. For me, what the pandemic has taught us, what the current inflation has taught us. Alam mo naman yung mga we Filipinos, we're very resourceful. And if you asked us to pivot, some businesses, nagagawan nila ng paraan yan. And we saw it during the pandemic, mga businesses from brick and mortar, they pivoted to the online space. Filipinos are very resourceful. We just need to pick the right tools that will help us pivot. Diba? We need to pick the right solutions to help us navigate or pivot through the current crisis that we have right now. And the digitalization plays a huge role in that. But yes, it plays a huge role. But access to it, it should be made accessible as well, not only on our side, but also on the government side with regards to policies and all of these implementing guidelines. So thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you again. We express our gratitude to our speakers for sharing their valuable insights with us today. Tyrone?
Yes. Thank you. Yes, it was a very fruitful discussion, and there's so much more we want to discuss, but that's all the time we have for this Inquirer Project Rebound webinar. Before we end,
wait, to our viewers?
Yes, sorry.
To our viewers?
To our viewers, we hope you learned a thing or two from this webinar. Thank you so much for participating. We thank everyone for joining us in today's Project Rebound webinar presented by the Philippine Daily Inquirer.
We'd also like to thank Inquirer.net, Mega Mobile, and Inquirer Academy. Continue reading the Philippine Daily Inquirer for authoritative news and features. Once again, I am Ruel De Vera of Inquirer Lifestyle.
And I am Tyrone Pied of Inquirer Business. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the rest of your day.
The Philippine Daily Inquirer would like to thank the following sponsors for making this live stream event possible. Coca-Cola Beverages Philippines Inc. Globe. Maya, it's everything in a bank. Medicard, prescribed by doctors. SB Finance, dito pwede. Union Bank, it's all in you. We'd also like to acknowledge the organizations that have partnered with us. Thank you to. We'd also like to thank Inquirer.net, Mega Mobile, and Inquirer Academy.
Globe has truly gone beyond telco. We innovate to uplift the lives of Filipinos with compassion, care, and kindness. Driven by our vision and purpose, we address problems of our customers in an inclusive manner that impacts the whole country. We bring together customer-centric innovations into a frictionless digital ecosystem built on a reliable network and supported by genuine caring for our customers. We see this in life-enabling and life-sustaining solutions in education, health, finance, leisurettainment, productivity, business, and digital readiness and security that empower people to live healthier, safer, and richer lives in a progressive digital nation. So, today, we are more than a telco. We are a digital solutions platform. We are the Globe Group.
Oh, Diyos me, where am I gonna get the money? Aruk pabab, ito pala'y butas.
I need a new TV and a ref na wagas.
I need a motor for our quick errand. But we short on funds, walang malapitan. OSP sa SB Finance, meron ka ng Zuki. The Zuki app,
Maaasahan, paperless, cause digital yan. Just one personal loan, motorsiklong hulugan. Car for cash, isang tap lang yan.
Now you can get any loan you need with just one app. Zuki by SB Finance. Tap personal loan to grow your business. Car for cash loan using your car's ORCR. Motorcycle loan for motorcycles. And Hulagan for easy installment. Low interest rate and processing fee.
OSP sa SB Finance.
Sa SB Finance, dito pwede.
I want to be like Mama when I grow up. Mama says learning can take us from where we are to where we can be. It can change us from who we are to who we can be. That in teaching minds, we also end up teaching hearts. Thank you for taking care of Mama Mina so that she can inspire more people to do more.